Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including RWBY, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Hayley Nabuurs.
Hello.
Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And Sarah Potter.
Hello.
We're talking episode 11 of volume 7 of RWBY, Gravity, that aired today on Rooster Teeth First and VRV. We've been talking RWBY every week of volume 7 here at the Overly Animated Podcast. Find us at overlyanimated.com. Search for Overly Animated RWBY on your favorite podcatcher. Our YouTube is youtube.com/overlyanimated. I'm going to be getting into spoilers for Gravity right now. Make sure you watch this episode, come back, listen to this podcast. Lot to talk about. Interested on what you all have to say about what happened. Let's start with Hayley. What did you think of Gravity?
I'm having a confused experience in response to Gravity because I feel like it was neat. They're like were really interesting things that happened and interesting things in terms of greater story arc and plot and whatnot. But I think what's really hurting it is that they literally could have gone from the end of last season with one episode in between the end of that and this, and we would have had basically the same development, you know? Like, so it makes it feel like the whole last season where we were like, okay, what's the direction? Oh, we think it's Watson Tyrion. No, but actually it isn't. And Salem said it isn't. So that just kind of invalidates a lot of that. And like, Jacques and his council thing didn't really turn into anything. I'm so upset the satellite's not going to launch. You know, like that's crushing.
Devastating.
We have 2 more episodes. Maybe something. We can launch Atlas instead. Does that count as a satellite?
You know, I'm in. Okay. It'll be fun. We're going to go to space.
Yeah.
But it's just, I was watching it was like, I could have not watched the whole season and been on the same page because we're back to the same thing of like, oh, Ironwood, he's bad. He has different ideas than us and we don't like him. And it's like, did we make no progress here at all? And he just freaks out over like a chess piece. And I'm so confused about why he had that briefcase with the squid thing. Like there's just so many weird things that are very convenient to lead to what admittedly seems like a really exciting finale. You know, like cool things are happening. It's getting really dramatic. But I was watching it and the dramatic music was playing and I was like, I want to feel excited, but I'm just like, it's unsatisfying because I feel like we didn't have any build up to what should be exciting. So,
okay.
Yeah.
This is fair. The briefcase. I want to give you my interpretation of this briefcase, Hayley. This is the one Watts was carrying around this briefcase all season.
He killed the briefcase,
and it turns out he was like, "Oh, it has hacking supplies in it." No, it's just these Salem's jellyfish was in it the whole season long.
Because the tech whiz couldn't figure out how to make a cell phone. He had to carry that around.
Just in case Salem needs to jellyfish someone.
Okay. Well, at least admittedly, I completely missed that, but I think I could be
much to miss. But yeah, I think that I think it's kind of funny, but it's also like, where's he? I don't know. Where's all the rest of his stuff? But I guess not in the briefcase.
But he's dead, so who cares now?
We'll see. Is he dead? We'll see.
Maybe.
You can never tell. You can never say people are dead on the show.
No, or even like maybe Adam's going to come back, and he.
We saw him.
Yeah.
Take 2 death blows
But Cinder has been gone like 3 times now, and she's cool. So.
Okay. So Delaney, what do you think of Gravity?
This episode is so boring. Okay, here, like exactly what Hayley was saying. Like, yes, there's cool fight. The fight was cool. I just didn't care. Like, we keep talking about this. This is the show. They're like, look at all this cool stuff and all these characters. We're going to show you Team RWBY for approximately 30 seconds. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, and I think the main problem I've had with like these past 2 episodes is like we're getting somewhere, but we're not there yet. And instead of like, I don't know, doing anything that's remotely interesting, it just feels like we're doing, and kind of like what Hayley was saying, it's like, why did we do any of this season? It's like we're just going through the motions. And it's like, why? Like, I don't, I was supposed to care that we're killing Watts and Tyrion because they suck and I hate them. But we don't even get to see him kill Watts. Not that I think we should kill people, but still. And then, like, I honestly am most disappointed that Tyrion didn't get like the absolute crap knocked out of him because he deserves it. Like he got blown up a little bit, but still. So I don't know. I think honestly these fights were kind of anticlimactic. Like even like when Watts had his gun to James's head, I was like, whatever. Like I feel that like there's the music and I was supposed to be excited, but I didn't care because it just feels like we've been running in a circle all season. And even when it was like, it didn't even hit me that was the first time Salem's talked to them. I was just like, I don't care. Because nothing is stuff's happening, but nothing's happened. And it really does just like Tyrion and Watts have been so inconsequential, like literally for forever. And then now it's like they literally didn't matter the whole time. And it's like
and they were intentionally like they were meant to not matter.
It was so dumb. Like I'm just bored. Like the fight was cool and neat or whatever, but like we just kind of what you were saying. Like we get to this end point where it was like, why did we do all of this? If Ironwood's just gonna like arrest them anyway and do whatever he wants. Yeah. The most interesting part of the episode for me was when he's like, "We're going into space. We're just gonna take Atlas."
Of course.
And then their climate will adapt. Like what?
Yeah, that part. I think that part. Like that's an interest. Like I didn't think that's like I don't know. Like I didn't hate the episode, but like it just feels like we're kind of in this drag. And I think it's because we've seen this twice. I think that's like the big, Fall of Beacon. That was exciting. Fall of Haven. Exciting. And now we're here and I'm like, look, I've watched this twice. Like,
I feel like we've had this conversation in his like really big office 3 times.
Yes. Like, and he's and he's like, loyalty matters. And it's like, does it? And then
it's like, why do we have loyalty to you? We don't even go to your school. We're not from your country.
And then and I guess that he told Winter to go murder that old lady. So I don't like.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes, he totally did that. So I'm just like, I do love
RWBY. Neo. And then it's like, no, it wasn't. What?
Who knows?
Yeah. Delaney, would it be better if we took a train up to space instead of Alice?
Yes, if you took a straight up to space, the quality would improve substantially.
Yeah, that's proven that's much better. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fact.
There you go. Sarah, what do you think of Gravity?
Dylan, this episode's incredible. Like, everything in this episode's great. This fight is incredible.
I understand what you're doing.
This fight is so fun, and Tyrion's alive at the end of this episode, which is great. Like, they don't kill him, which is really important.
I can't do this.
Sally. And, I mean, like, Ironwood is, like, we built up to this all season, Dylan, with, like, we spent every single episode of this season building up to Ironwood, looking at this Black Queen, and it was so good, looking at this Black Queen for, like, 10 minutes.
And then he crushed it.
It was so good.
What'd you think of Tyrion's tails roll in this episode?
Oh, Dylan, it was great because they're building up to him. They're building up to another fight with him because he hasn't stabbed anyone with it yet. So we have another fight with Tyrion coming up.
Yeah, this season?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun.
He smirks.
I'm really excited for that, Dylan.
He's like smiling in the police car, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
he's really channeling the Joker. I really like it.
Yeah, and you love the movie The Joker, right? That's your favorite
movie.
Oh,
yeah, best movie.
Yeah. Okay. So you love this episode, Sarah.
Oh, yeah. I love the season, Dylan.
You love the season. Interesting. Turnaround.
Do your teeth hurt?
This is just me, Delaney.
Okay. This will make for an interesting podcast. The problem is I want to try to actually defend the episode. Like, I
want to like it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like the fight, I really think this is one of the most interesting fights in the show. But I think this show suffers from the rest of the season, and it's not this episode's fault.
The point of this episode is largely about twisting your expectations, and we think it's about the season's about Tyrion and Watts, and then it's not. And here's Salem coming. The biggest reaction negatively with this happens is going to be like, why did we do all this stuff that we weren't enjoying? If you were enjoying it, it's like, oh, cool, and now some new stuff, but like we weren't enjoying that. So it's like, why did we do this? So I understand that, of course. And that was my reaction watching it the first time. And also just like, as I've said multiple times, I care so much less about the plot of this show than the characters and any character interactions we're doing. And this episode is just constant plot, start to finish. So It's really well constructed, and there's a lot of interesting stuff here. I connected more second watch, I guess, because I think when I have to outline it, like I have to pay attention, and then I can get more into it. The fight is very good in the beginning. It's a gunfight, which I think is new for this show. Problem is I don't care about either of these people, but it is a cool fight. And then
I did. So, for whatever stupid reason, Rooster Teeth doesn't remember that I like my captions on. And so I could hear him counting, and I was like, what? And so I had to turn the captions on. So that made me pay attention.
You had to have the closed caption for him counting, right?
Yeah, because I was like, what? Like, yes. I
Sarah,
could
what did you think? What did
it.
you think of Dr. Watts counting in this episode?
Oh,
Sarah?
So here's the problem with this whole thing, Dylan, because like, I'm so happy all the time about RWBY. It's gonna be hard to tell like which things like I like even more, like things I like a lot.
Did you love the counting or like the counting?
I love the counting, Dylan.
Okay.
Watts is so smart. He really was smart this episode, and he showed Ironwood that he could count better than him.
Yeah, but the twist was Ironwood could also count. They both learned how to count.
They're basically Sesame Street.
But also, Dylan, I actually really like this fight. Like, it's good choreography, and it's like really great. And I love Ironwood and Watts. Like, I care about them so much this season. Like, this fight is great.
I think you think you're making a distinction sometimes, but it's not coming across. Like,
there's no distinction here, Dylan. There's no distinction.
I would say I don't like. I want to talk about like this is dumb. I do actually want to talk about the counting because like I understand the concept of a revolver. Like we've all seen a revolver fight. Revolver has you have 6 bullets. The reason this is stupid is because he has a super revolver.
It's like a laser gun thing.
He's so smart. He can fit like 3 times the number of bullets as normal.
He literally is counting, and he's like 13. I'm like, how many? Like that was the thing. I was like, I don't know how many bullets there are in this stupid gun. Like I understand he's counting down to 0, but like. I think, like, I got it. Like, when he first started counting, like, I was like, cool, he's counting his bullets. But it was like, you have a super laser revolver? Like, this is dumb.
Like, how could you run out? You know, you think he designed it to not be able to...
Like, and he can't be dramatic. He designed his weapons to be dramatic as possible. It's really great.
He does like being dramatic.
So I got it I was like, cool, he's counting his bullets. But then a little bit, I was like, is he counting down to, like... Is the arena going to do something? And then that didn't happen. So,
that would have been fun. I thought at one point when after they had been counting, you know, and then they were like starting to talk for a minute. He's like, you never gave me your love, basically.
Yeah.
Like, did they have a
you
thing?
never thought I was great.
Yeah, they were together.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
They were pretty gay.
That was super gay. I agree.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure Ironwood left Crow to date Watts. I'm like 90% sure.
Oh man, bad choice there.
Wow.
Okay, so the other things. The episode takes us in a direction that's potentially refocusing on Team RWBY. Now, I like that we get back into the Ironwood distrust stuff. Ignoring that, we're ignoring the middle of the season. Just it didn't feel good ending. What we're doing with Ironwood, where we
it doesn't feel satisfying because like we like Ironwood. Like I think like you're supposed to be sympathetic towards him, and then in just this one episode, they're like he's crazy, but then you're like he literally burnt off his whole arm, guys. Like he needs some therapy. Everyone in the show needs therapy.
He also needs like medical attention.
He does need medical attention.
Yeah.
Number 1, let's go. Number 1, he needs an ambulance. Number 2, and I think that's a part of why this episode isn't that satisfying. It's because you can do the whole twisting your expectations, but part of it is we didn't care, so it doesn't matter. And then on top of that, they just do a 180 when we spent this whole season being like, no, we're with James, and this is great. Like, I was really relieved when we told James everything. That felt nice. And then now we're like, JK, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, and it also feels really irritating that the thing that blew up in their face was telling Robin.
Yeah, that's annoying because that didn't matter. But yeah, I think it's satisfying in the respect that it circles back to the beginning of the season, which is a thing I always like. And I don't think we had properly like threaded that into like if it got resolved happy, it's like what was the point of all the distrust in the beginning? Now we can actually kind of address it.
Well, it would. I don't know. I understand the distrust. Like I think it's more important that they work. Like to me, it was more compelling when they were working through the distrust.
In like a healthy manner, yeah. In
a healthy way. And then this way, we're just going back, and then they're going to kill James at the end, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, hot take there that Ironwood is dying.
Ironwood is number one on my death
At least
watch.
this way, we are back on the, like, we can just focus on the team.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and they're our main characters, and we can get rid of all these other many
that's
characters.
Another thing that's so annoying, though, is then it's like, then what was the point of all of it? Like, I think that's the big problem with RWBY, is that, like, so everyone is expendable, but then it's like, I don't care.
But that's what's so genius about it, Delaney. Like,
No,
I was gonna ask for your take on this. Yeah.
This is all so great because we had a season, we started the season, and we could have just gone straight to this finale, like from the next episode. But instead, we took like 10 episodes to build up to it, and it was so good. It was so much like I'm glad we took all this time to build up to this because now I'm so invested.
Yeah,
in the
Sarah,
story.
what did you looking back? What do you think of the council seat election?
Oh, it was probably like the most compelling storyline of the season, Dylan.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's what I thought.
What ties do you see between that and this finale?
Oh, like I definitely think there's definitely parallels between Robin and Ironwood in that they're both really cool and really good at this.
Thematic ties, etc. You know.
Yeah, I think Robin's gonna fall. Like here's the best finale, Dylan. Robin dies, Wooloo dies, all the huntresses die. It's gonna be great.
I'll take it just to see Wooloo again.
You know what? The council thing did matter because then we got that dramatic line of Iron will be like, "I don't care about the council. I'm declaring martial law." So
we also got
we were
two
trying
cake
to
lines.
prevent.
He literally,
It didn't matter,
he literally
yeah.
said it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 2 cake lines too, Dylan. Like this is great.
Yeah, we got to do what we did to get the cake lines. No. So look, I agree with all these criticisms of it makes large parts of the season not matter. I do think we need to see how it plays out if they try to tie things together. But
like if James has James is going that route that no one likes, the whole like we save who we can, and it's just because he's scared. I mean, but it's also like I am interested in seeing, because this will be the first time we're seeing Salem like feet on the ground kind of like actually doing stuff. So I am excited for that. Like if Salem's really there and she does stuff, that'll be cool. And like Salem v. Cinder, like I'm about it.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing is last week I decided that I'm just watching RWBY as a comedy.
Okay.
And now this episode,
so really
I'm
you're
going
both
to
doing shticks, basically.
Basically. No, but I've now put that aside. Maybe next season. And I'm going to watch it as if the whole season didn't happen.
Okay.
Because I am legitimately interested.
Wow.
Like Salem's
I will say,
you know,
when you rewatch RWBY, you have to skip the episodes that the show has claimed don't matter, right? Like you have to.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I was starting the episode in the car. We were driving back from, we had gone to eat lunch together, and I was like, talk to my fiance. She's driving, and I'm like, this show is so terrible, and I just hit play.
But cool things are coming. You know, like I am excited. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I agree with
Okay.
Hayley. Hayley's got the right take here.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
To conclude the thoughts here, I think this episode has good things happening. I actually think it's really well done. I agree with the frustration. I'm frustrated that
it suffers from what came before.
I'm frustrated that we're ignoring all the
it
stuff this
suffers from
season
the
that didn't
whole
work.
season.
I'm frustrated that it's very plot oriented and not character directed. Focus continued, but the summer stuff is intriguing. That the turn Ironwood is taking is intriguing. Salem Cummings intriguing. Like I think this episode's very well put together, and for that reason, I would say it's like among the top 5 best of the season.
Well, it's like what we've talked about is like we've talked about this before on the Discord, and here like RWBY is a show that suffers from being weekly. And I think
maybe if you binge this, it doesn't matter that the 7 episodes don't matter this season.
Well, it's not just that, but it's also like we're just we're still building. Like last week, building. This week, built. Like we're still not.
So if
like,
you get to the climax faster,
But that's great because we don't know where we're going to stop, Delaney. It's going to be so great.
What if
when
we just
finally
keep
get
building
there.
at the end of the season? We
Yeah,
never
we're
pay
just
anything
building
off,
forever.
and we just
well,
build into next season.
honestly, at this point, I don't know if Salem's going to arrive by the time the season
It's
ends.
unclear.
We only got 2 episodes.
We're going to have flying monkeys. It's going to be so good.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Sarah, how would you describe your excitement level for the potential of flying monkeys accompanying Salem to
Oh, it's going to be so good. I remember I said this was going to be like Age of Ultron. They're going to like fly the
Is
satellite
Age of
up and
Ultron
drop
your
it.
favorite Marvel movie?
Oh,
I've
yes,
heard that.
definitely,
Yeah, okay,
Dylan.
yeah.
Like, and now I think we're definitely do that. And instead of fighting robots, we're fighting flying monkeys. And I am in love with it, Dylan.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Everyone's excited
Atlas
for
in
monkeys.
space with flying monkeys.
That would
It's
at
gonna
least be a
good.
spectacle.
See, Delaney, I heard the laugh in your voice. You're so excited for
Look,
this.
look. Delaney keeps saying space. He just said the atmosphere. I don't think he really said space, but
Well,
that's
basically
We're gonna be
space.
that's
So.
the hope is that we go to space.
Also,
we
I
keep
love
going.
that. Like, I also love that. Like, in the same breath, they're like, "It's fine." Like, they're like, the climate will adjust, and I'm like, "Okay, sure, Jan."
Whoa.
Like,
World
Whoa,
building is now we
guys.
learned that Atlas has a climate control system.
Yeah, that's handy. But it
can
makes
we
sense.
just turn it off? Can Watts just be like, "Nope"?
Oh, maybe. I just had a thought,
Yes.
folks.
Is it about
That
satellites?
It is.
It's obviously, obviously.
Generally. So here's a very high level theory. I wonder if we're getting shot up into space and then a whole other storyline spirals and it turns out that they're also in the Milky Way and this is like Planet X, and then Earth arrives.
Wait, what if
Oh, you're thinking
Who
we're gonna go
knows?
like
Dogs
Ruby,
excited? Wait,
Ruby
yeah.
Lost Galaxy or something.
there's
like,
a
I like
second
this.
show that's happening in a different planet, and then they culminate, and so now we
Oh,
pause
this
the
is
Ruby
where we connect to
storyline.
Genlock.
And that's
Yeah.
then we combine with Genlock. That's what's happening.
It's because it's the Marvel universe ultimately.
Yeah, I like this thread of getting anything that brings Genlock in will be good. Quickly on the lack of Bumblebee, and then go into actual things that happened this episode. So, zero Bumblebee this episode. They are standing next to each other.
They're
Only
about to go to jail together.
they're going to go jail. No, I assume they're going to beat the Aesops. I don't know, but unclear.
Yeah.
The 2 episodes left for Bumblebee. You got to feel worse about it after
I don't
no
think it's gonna
progress
happen.
made this episode, and
Yeah.
also the fact that they subverted the direction of the season. A large part of the direction the season was heading towards Bumblebee. That's not good. We don't want to subvert that.
I've been on the train of thinking it was going to happen. I now don't think it's going to happen
You know, don't.
because there's so much other stuff they've set up
Well,
suddenly.
they're like, Oscar's gone. Now we have to go find Oscar. I will say, I do think they are going to split up Team Ruby. So I think there is the potential for a little Bumblebee. A little.
Oh, they have to split up Team Ruby. They always do it, and then always
Yeah,
works.
Sarah,
so
what's
well.
what's your thoughts on splitting up Team Ruby, Sarah?
It's like it always works. Just look at all the great
It's a great.
characterization.
Oh, Sarah, what's your thoughts on Volume 4 of Ruby?
Oh, it's my favorite volume, Dylan.
It's your favorite season?
Yeah, it's my favorite. Those arms are the best.
Yeah, the extendo arms.
Look,
Yeah.
we're going to have a little of Bumblebee as a treat. Since we're gonna do it.
I still gotta pray that they're not stupid enough to build it and hype it everywhere.
I don't know.
and-
No.
I don't know,
The
Dylan.
final shot is going to be them leaning in towards each other, and then we
And then
cut as they
does
shoot
that-
up into the
does that
sky.
count
And in
if
front
they
of
do-
him
does
gets
that
their
count?
head cut off. They're going to be
I told you they're
decapitated.
never going to stop building, and then the next season's going to start, and they're not going to kiss because they get interrupted.
In
It's so
season
good. They're
And
going
then
to keep
Jim
building.
jumps up between them to start
Yeah.
the next season. Yeah, that's the payoff to
Oh, I think you just predicted it.
that would be the. I wouldn't be upset. It would be so funny. Okay.
I know, right?
Oh, okay,
Like, I'm on board.
Last thing I want to say is talking about subverting. Again, trying to talk about the good points of this episode. I think the concept of this episode is very effective because last week I was like, okay, this is the exact equivalent to this point last season. We're setting up for the fights that will go run through the last 3 episodes of
Is
the
this the
finale.
first
It's pretty
time nothing
standard
happened
for
in this
Ruby.
episode?
This episode is. Oh, you thought we were doing that. Here's the end of one. Here's the end of those fights. They don't matter. Now the real stuff is coming. So they're subverting their own season structure. I do think that's a smart idea. I'm going to say
It
it
would
was
be
like,
impressive if it mattered.
yeah. So let's see how it goes. I think it was at least somewhat effective this episode, and I think it has the potential to be very effective if the next 2 episodes are great. But
Yeah, I'm more excited
I do
for
because
this.
literally last week's podcast, I was like, I know exactly what's happening. This is what this was, and then that's the point when the show should change directions, right when the audience thinks it has it
Yeah.
figured out.
Well,
So I do think they have the concept down of what
They're
to
they're
do.
really good at twists. Like I think
Like-
they actually are. Really
Sarah, what
good
was
at-
your favorite twist from the entirety of RWBY? Sarah, what would you say?
Oh man, Oh, I think my favorite twist has to be that that Vernal was not the winner.
But that's actually the best twist. Yeah,
but
It actually is.
I named the best twist, Dylan,
Yeah,
but
you
it's the
did.
best twist just because they talk about how awful they are at naming things, and it's really funny.
Yeah, it is based on them being bad at naming things. That's true. Okay. Yeah, look, I totally get the takes that all of this is kind of like for naught, or it's not done, or it's bad because it was but I think like I at least like conceptually what we're doing here. I think there's good stuff this episode, and I don't know, like there is a version where these last two episodes make this episode like
In
a great
universe.
like there's a version
might be
that
great.
makes this episode like a great shift in direction to the season. Like they can
Yeah.
still culminate Bumblebee.
Well,
They can
I mean,
still
if
like
we're-
explain to us why the Tyrion and Watts mattered, while also
Well,
bringing
we're
Salem
seeing-
in, and yeah.
But that's the genius of it, Dylan. They never mattered. It's so good.
Well, I like that they're speeding up the timetable, which I think was something that, like, when you talk about subverting their own season structure, you know, even Cinder was like, we're supposed to go to Vacchio. Well, so we've sped everything up. Salem supposedly is coming to Atlas. And I do think this
but the
is
problem, Delaney, is
interesting.
it's not going to be the final boss fight. So are we really speeding things up? Like, yeah, we get to
I
see
do-
Salem
I think
sooner.
we're speeding things up in that. Well, maybe I don't know. It's
What
like,
if
Salem's-
we killed Salem at the end of the season?
Yeah, like Salem's the big bad, but then it's also like, who cares? Like, because I'm not even convinced at this point Salem is the big bad because it's so
It's definitely Cinder.
What if it was Tyrion?
Oh, that would be the best outcome. Thank you. Dylan. I didn't think of that. That sounds like
Right?
amazing
Isn't that
to
the
me.
better outcome? Okay.
Well, no,
let's
no,
talk-
it's Tyrion's tail, Dylan. Like Tyrion's tail, like slowly subsumes Tyrion's body, and then he becomes. It becomes.
What I don't
big
understand about this is you actually do love Tyrion's tail, and you constantly talk about that. So I don't know if you should hate Tyrion's tail. I don't know if that's how that works.
But
Anyway,
No,
speeding
I-
up the timetable, what I meant was that, like, I was expecting, like, we're gonna have to have a whole season of Vacchio, and then we would finally fight Salem. But if Salem's here,
yeah, we can
Right.
get that done now. Yeah, I think probably like this won't be the last Salem fight or so. But
No.
come on,
I think she's
don't
gonna crush
Delaney,
them
don't
and get
deprive
all
me
the
of
relics.
my Sun and Vacuo season. I still need that. Okay?
we can still have it. I'm just saying, like, I think that it is about time that Salem and Ruby met.
They
Yeah.
won't meet until
yeah.
season 30. Don't worry.
I mean, I would say season 7. The 7 is more than pastime for the villain
Yes,
and
I
main
agree
character
with
to
you.
meet
To be
in,
fair,
in
this
any
villain
other
didn't
show.
exist. This villain didn't exist until like,
Until season 4. Yeah. This is true. So this is not any other show, so we can't. Okay, let's talk about the actual episode because there is like a lot. I don't know. What are we?
Wow,
half
we
an
haven't
hour
gotten
in?
there yet. There's just so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about.
I want to have some end predictions as well.
Yeah, okay. Let's go through the topics I have on the outline. So we talked about subverting. Let's summer. I feel like summer is the big speculation, good podcast topic to talk about. So in the episode, Ruby's like, and we'll stop you. And Jellyfish Projection Salem says, your mother said those words to me.
I do think talk about the subverting. This is really great because we're like, yeah, Ruby, you tell her, and then Salem's like, I'm gonna make you cry right now.
Yeah, which is I don't appreciate.
I really love that Salem has apparently like mind powers to
Yeah,
inject
was she like
sadness into your
projecting
brain.
into her brain, like, or was
To
it just
inject
Ruby?
what? Oh
Inject
yeah,
sadness.
is that
I think it was also Ruby. Like, I think Ruby
Okay,
was
okay.
having
I think it was supposed to be
flashes.
both.
so Salem could have been like magically affecting
Yes,
Ruby.
I really
or,
want Salem to inject everyone
could-
with their trauma.
Yes, or Ruby just has her own trauma that's repressed from this, or I feel
Or
like, so
both.
the straightforward explanation of this, like, and then Ruby has flashes of her mom, and then her like silver eyes flash, and she's crying, and then Salem disappears. The surface level explanation is just that Salem killed Summer, and that's being revealed to Ruby, and Ruby's upset about that, right? Like that's the
Right.
easiest explanation.
The secret trauma is that Ruby watched Summer turn this way, and it's coming back to her now.
Okay, so
No,
it took
no
5
more of that
seconds to
theory.
bring Sway in here. This is accurate. No, so yeah, I guess Salem could have been affecting Ruby. But I Needle had a few theories on our Discord. One of them is what if Ruby actually watched Salem kill Summer, and she's like repressed it, and that's what's happening to her in the scene. Is she's like
That would be
starting to have it
interesting.
be revealed.
Oh my god! Now all I want is baby Ruby holding a scythe, like just
Yes.
Then we bring baby Ruby into this. Yeah, she's the full size scythe. Yeah, that I don't want that because that would make Ruby sad. So pass. But that is, I think, probably the most interesting kind of narrative direction to take that. People are talking about like, what if okay, Salem killed Summer. That means Summer was going after Salem. Does that mean that could mean other things too? In addition to Salem killed Summer, what if Summer used the lamp? Like, because we know someone asked a question, right? Like, what if it was Summer?
Summer's question was why am I named Summer and why am I the Summer Maiden? Like, she was just really trying to figure out how the universe knew.
Is that fate or is this a weird coincidence? Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like shrugged her shoulders.
Yeah. So I think Summer asking the question. I think all of these could be true. That's also really good because we have this question looming over us, and we also have Summer looming over us. And by the way, I do think bringing Summer in here is good. We seeded Summer into an earlier episode that I remember them being on like bleachers in a gym. That sounds wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's true. That sounds fake. That sounds fake, but I think it happened.
Okay, I don't think there were any gym bleachers.
They were on gym. No, they were
when
sitting on gym
arena.
bleachers talking about.
Yeah,
Ruby's
they were in
mom.
the arena. Amity.
When they got-
The arena bleachers.
It's right. I mean, it's basically the same thing.
They were playing basketball. Obviously.
Summer's been vaguely like looming over Ruby for a little. Like we've been seeing little threads of this, so I think this is effective. This coming into play now. Summer asking the question would combine that and the lamp thing that's hanging over us too.
And silver eyes.
And Summer Maiden.
Did Summer have silver eyes? That would be a good thing to bring in. Ruby's eyes do flash silver. The Summer Maiden thing is the other thing. What if Ruby is actually the Summer Maiden and doesn't know about it? What if?
Yeah, I think that's where we're going. I think that's.
You think that's where you? Wait, I feel like that's the most far fetched one.
I legitimately think that's where we're going too.
But if Ruby, what do you saying legitimately on this podcast? I don't know what that means. But the Ruby, if Ruby has repressed memories, then she could maybe be the maiden and not know about it. That's like, how does she not know though? Like,
But that would be
because
cool.
trauma, Dylan.
Well,
trauma.
it would also tie in really well with Cinder v Ruby, because then not only is like she hates Ruby, now she wants Ruby's power. Like that could also be another.
It would be so good if the end of the season is Cinder killing Ruby, like getting her power, and then we have all kinds of cool. Because Cinder becomes the main character.
We can't talk about Ruby dying on this podcast. That's unacceptable.
It's not acceptable.
Okay,
Cinder's the true main character of the show. So all these are good. So I feel like those are the good things that could be revealed. But the show rarely, I feel like, does the obvious good
feel
thing.
like
Because they're so genius.
I don't know if Summer like this is gonna sound bad when I say it out loud, but like I don't think Summer should be alive. Like I don't know how I'm gonna feel if we just run into Summer.
I mean, I think all of these involve Summer being dead that we talked about.
Yes,
but what if our theory, as always, of
wrong.
Summer being hidden in Zwei and actually is alive?
Oh
No.
man.
No.
What if there's like Dylan? What if there's
Not
magic
allowed.
around Ruby, and so anytime anyone but Salem mentions Summer, like there just magic happens, so no one can talk about Summer. Like that's actually what's happening. That's why like the whole show is conspiring against her.
That's not that far fetched, but yeah, okay. I have no response, but it's like, yeah, sure, okay, that could happen. So I feel like up to this point, people thought Summer was secretly alive. That was the big Summer conspiracy theory.
Right.
So this episode is like saying, nope, JK, I killed Summer.
Yeah, she's dead.
So that's a good subversion of audience expectations. But is the subversion of that so Summer actually be alive after all? Like, isn't that the
I would be irritated.
Galaxy
Like
brain move?
you know how you are irritated by Clover. I would be irritated because we already had like Lost Mom Journey 1. Okay, I don't need to do this again.
I don't understand the similarities. You're just comparing things we're irritated about. Like
Yes, that's what
much
I'm
like
thinking.
you are in general irritated about this one thing.
Yeah, I too would be irritated.
would be the concept of irritated about this other thing.
Yes, well, you know what I'm talking about. It would just be a stupid thing.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
in a
I think-
stupid way.
I think my thing is that I really hate that Jim is not a bigger focus this season. Like I really hate.
Did you
that
say
he's not.
Jin or Jim? What
Jim.
do you think about Jim? Jin, Sarah being a giant naked big titty lady last season? Did you enjoy that?
I mean, obviously. Like, why else would I be watching the show?
Okay, can we talk about what Dylan just said? Okay, let's just pause.
You missed last season of podcast, Delaney. I said that last season too.
Big titty.
That's how you have to describe this. That's how you have to describe this character.
What?
Don't lie
it's
to
not
ladies.
inaccurate. It's not inaccurate. It's just the fact that Dylan said it. Like,
You missed me saying it.
I have
season.
to process through it. It's fine.
Delaney, don't lie. This is why you watched RWBY. Like, this is what it's for.
I'm watching RWBY for the bumblebee
genies.
that happened. For the big titty, the big titty blonde GF. Like, that's what
Yeah, so just a different character. Okay. Sarah, what do you think about Jim? Do you know who we're talking about when we talk about Jim?
Jim is
I have to think
Jim
about that
is
one,
the
right?
best character. Like, James is like fighting Watch so well this episode. Like, I'm really impressed by him.
Not okay. Yeah, wrong Jim, but that's okay. Yeah, so you're a fan of Ironwood. Okay. I don't know how to make.
What do you mean wrong Jim? There's no other Jim.
I don't know how to
is like
make.
the
I don't
best
know
character.
Who. Okay,
I can't believe you're ignoring the best character.
We can't really
Dylan.
talk about this on the same plane. I don't think it'll work. It's impossible. Any other summer theories?
I'm curious. Okay. This simultaneously has no backing, but also all the backing of the show.
Those are the best
That,
ones.
it's always the best one. I'm wondering if we take the whole, like, Ruby's repressed being the winter or the summer maiden and Silver Eyes and all that jazz.
Is RWBY
one
summer?
step
Is that what you're
further
saying?
and say, yes, that she's like Ozpin version.
Oh, that
But
fixes
wait,
Is
Rose
that
Garden.
actually
No,
where
oh
you're
my
going to do
God,
pivot
no.
when Delaney said it?
It could
It
happen.
fixes Rose Garden. That's so
It
good,
could
Hayley.
happen.
And by
So
fix
what?
Haley,
Summer,
like,
Summer and Ozpin were the true OTP.
Like, I'm
and
so
they're
irritated.
reincarnating into their,
Haley just spoke this into existence. What
No,
is
I
it?
didn't.
But Haley, I want to make clear that when I say fix, I mean that the problem was RWBY, not Ozpin in the relationship
Okay,
before.
sure. Stop it.
No, too far. Too far.
This is absolutely not happening. I don't know why you guys are like this.
But it could.
I don't know why you're
I'm,
not
like,
excited, Haley. This is great.
Extremely upset.
Okay, no, Summer is not residing within. I mean, to the extent where the Silver Eyes are like genetic or whatever, maybe.
Yeah.
Like to that, yeah, that could.
But
be
I do like the idea. Like, seriously though, I do like the idea of her repressing, maybe being the summer maiden, but particularly
Yes.
her mom's memory of her mom doing something with Salem. I think that would be really interesting.
Well, it would also, like, we don't really know, like, we don't really have a concept too much of the maidens. Like, we understand that, like, it's a very intimate, like, passage of power. And it's also, like, is it kind of like, not only would she be, like, would she get her mother's memories? Like, how exactly does this line of knowledge work?
Yeah, right. Could
let's just
fulfill my theory.
spend rest of the podcast speculating about Silver Eyes and how they work. Okay, but yeah, you're right. No, this could play. Okay, we have a lot of interesting things with Summer here.
Oh, I guess we could learn that Summer's like actually one of Ozpin's lives, like granddaughter, and like then Rose Garden works even better.
Yeah. What if both sides of the relationship are actually just Ozpin? Does that make it better?
Yes, it makes it so good, Dylan.
Ozpin self-cessed or something like that. Yeah, that makes it
I
better,
can't believe
think.
you just said that out loud. Okay.
But before I said it, I was like, should I say this? It's like, it's RWBY. It's fine. It's
I mean,
like
we were
that.
all thinking it, Dylan.
Everyone was. Of course they were. What's the next topic?
Well, but now we need to talk about Oscar apparently murdering everyone.
Yeah, we can quickly talk about Oscar. Oscar was taken, or okay, so it's like, did the person that took Oscar kill all those guards, or did Oscar do that? I assumed it was the person that took, and I assume the person that took him was Neo, because in the last episode, Neo was going after Oscar. How robbed are we of the scene of Neo turning into RWBY to flirt with Oscar?
Oh, completely. I was so excited.
Honestly,
I want you to know that I was like in my seat clenching the entire time, hoping it didn't happen. And I was like, okay, it hasn't happened yet. So like, I was afraid the entire episode that it was coming.
I think next episode starts with a flashback and of that scene that leads into the whole episode being focused on the Neo Oscar escapades. We follow them throughout the city wherever they're.
I really hope Neo hasn't found Oscar yet and he just went crazy with Ozpin and like they're just like killing everybody now, and then like Neo's still just anywhere. It'd be great.
Well, there was one theory. I think it was Zerf in the Discord that it was, there's a lot of conversation going on that the guards had already come for Oscar, and then it was Oscar who fought back.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Ironwood could have done something previous to that.
Well, he did. I mean, well, it could have happened at the same time. Like, so when Ruby's trying to call Jim, and she and then he does the block or whatever
but they're in the same room together.
Right. So, well, I think if he hit he hit some button
he hit
and was bad,
the bank robber button under the table.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think then that could have, because they weren't human guards; they looked like the robots. That could have made them take Oscar.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had been planning this entire time before they got there.
Once he saw the queen, he was planning this. Yes. Once
so
he
I
got
think
back
he's been
after
sitting
the fight.
there, being flipped out.
I guess he could have done. Yeah, there is a period of time when he could have done something. That's true. Okay.
How long do you think Cinder was practicing making that stuff?
That's a good question. Also, that was okay. If we're gonna,
Team Ruby's it was black glass. It was Cinder.
Okay, that's what I was gonna talk about. This is the Tenzin line of this season. Oh my god! When she goes, it's black glass. I was like, this is the dumbest.
Wait, but Delaney, you're just not remembering something from Volume 2 or something that Cinder's all about black glass. I actually have no idea. When did this happen in the show? Does anyone know?
Oh no, that's her semblance, Dylan. Okay, that semblance is actual. Wow, Cinder's semblance is making black glass, and
is that actually?
I'm so mad at you for not knowing.
I'm googling it. I don't remember.
When did it happen, Sarah?
Anyway.
She's had this semblance all show.
When did it last manifest? Her semblance?
Not this season. At the very least,
her semblance was fire. What are you talking about?
No, that's
she
the
used fire to forge glass. It was.
This is stupid.
Wait.
Yeah, I thought she was fire.
This is I'm actually mad at you all. This is her semblance, and it's been her semblance for literally the whole time, and it's always been amazing and
it's
really
confusing. So she has firebending powers, but only for the purposes of glass making.
Yes, it's really great, Dylan. It's not confusing at all.
Excuse me, Cinder's semblance is named Scorching. No, it's not named that. You can't just give it.
I know. I'm on the
please
which allows
Delaney, you have to
Cinder
read
to see objects and manipulate their shape. This is stupid. Why am I on this?
See? You all just doubted me. I have no memory.
Her power is fire!
But she can make glass with it.
That doesn't mean her semblance is
it doesn't have to be glass. It can be something else.
Someone
she used a bow. She made a bow and arrow to kill Pyrrha with it.
Right. Well, yes, she did. But on the RWBY Reddit from 2016, someone clued in that her semblance is partially glass themed, a la Cinderella.
Okay, get out of here.
I know. It's terrible.
I'm done.
Okay.
I can't do this.
You're catching all these great fairy fables, and I love it.
I am
not trying to, but it just keeps happening.
Thanks for listening to us, guys.
Let's speed through the rest of this. We talked about Ironwood turning on them. I think he's going to launch Atlas into space and not space, the atmosphere.
Yes, space.
Basically to keep the staff and lamp away and the maiden away from Salem. Other than leaving a bunch of people to die, I think this is a good plan.
Except when it falls to the earth.
If he could prevent it from falling to the earth, they should have we're just why don't they just throw this down the well last season or something, right? All you have to do is keep one of them away from her. So, something like this, I feel is what we should be doing.
I hope everyone dies because then we'll have a great season about just maybe Tyrion will survive and it'll just be him in the frozen wasteland. It's gonna be really
what if
cool.
Next season's Tyrion alone? That'd be good, right?
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing.
I don't know why Tyrion.
And he goes crazy talking to his tail all season.
He's already would do that.
Also, why can't Salem go in? What is keeping? I guess it's because they don't know about the monkeys.
But
she's oh god, wait, oh god.
What's keeping Salem from going?
Yeah, you're right. What's keeping Salem from going to the atmosphere? Oh,
I didn't. God.
We didn't know about the flying monkeys. That's actually what's gonna happen.
That's
even though, obviously the heroes are making a very big tactical error, and I like it. They're just forgetting Grimm can fly sometimes.
Why? Yeah. Why can't? Yeah.
I don't understand.
We're too high for her.
He's we're going to. Okay, we're going to leave everyone in Mantle to die. We're going to go really high up in sky, and this isn't really going to do anything.
Yeah, it's a fair point that this probably is not the way to keep the relics away.
Also, if he already is afraid that she's here, then she's already here. We're all going to go into space with Salem.
Yeah, Salem will just be on board already. Yeah.
And how's he going to get, because I've been closely watching the satellite plot line.
Yeah. As you should.
As you should. So is he going to, direct something from the satellite to the staff? like, how's he going to get it into the sky?
Oh, I hope the satellite like
Because if
combines with
Oscar's
Atlas.
gone, yeah, you know.
The staff is already in Atlas, so I guess
the staff is currently holding Atlas up in the sky.
Yeah.
So does he just say like, staff, go? Yeah,
higher.
We're gonna overexert you, staff. Yeah, like
surely there's some. I'm sure it also has a dumb mechanism where it's like you can only use it 3 times in 100 years. So like, it's fine.
Probably.
Or it has none, and only the lamp has that because Jin.
I think only the lamp has that, but it's you know, who knows? We really don't know. So that's yeah, and then RWBY disagrees with Ironwood's plan to leave people to die. Good, and RWBY takes an epic phone call from Jim. This is I would say this is the most plot relevant in a legitimate way Jim has ever been
call to Jim,
by making a phone call. Yeah,
good job, Jim. You know, okay, bold claim for this.
And then
podcast.
he didn't even tell her what he was trying to say.
It's true,
but Jim, I feel like Jim's been fine.
Jim's been good this season.
Okay,
you know,
it's
like
aggressive.
He's just kind of living his life. He's helping the kids. He's helping his friends. I like this for him.
Yeah, he just needs to retire and be a daycare teacher. Like,
yeah, he's good. He's found his calling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Follow his bliss.
Yeah. Yeah. So RWBY tells everyone, and then they hang it up, and episode ends Ironwood trying to arrest them, but he leaves, so it's just them versus Aesop's minus Clover.
Right.
And this is going to be interesting because Clover loves Crow. They're going to...
So it's like, what's Clover going to... Okay, and then, Clover hears, and it's like, what they're on the transport with prisoner Tyrion. What's Clover going to do now?
Oh, I don't think they're going to, like, do anything loving. I think Crow's going to have to, like, kill Clover, and then it's just going to be over.
No, Clover's going to betray Ironwood.
I feel like Tyrion's going to betray Salem. And then be stuck with Team RWBY.
I don't even think he's capable of betraying anything because he has no concept of anything.
But Hayley, that's great. Tyrion main character next season.
Tyrion's going to betray. So the way these plot lines normally go, I feel like, is it's like, the bonds we built up between Crow and Clover, and it's all the more tragic when Clover follows orders over his falling in love with Crow. So like,
he's gonna
smart. I think he's gonna do it for love. I think Crow's just seeing like a lot of like good luck signs and like thinks that like it means that like Clover's falling for him, but Clover's really just like not doing anything, like not caring at all.
Is your shtick queer baiting us? Like, is this what happened?
I don't know what shtick you're talking about. This show is like the most straight show ever.
Actually, that's accurate.
That is an actual true statement.
That's accurate. I like if you want the tragedy, then we've seen no indication Clover would ever do anything against Ironwood to this point, and like we want to believe that the power of love will overcome. But I
mean, the intro of the season, Dylan.
It's the theme song.
You know, but the tragedy is that it doesn't, and then
the sweet song in the Watts fight was really good.
So, we'll get back to that in a second. But what's probably happening is like then Clover and Crow start fighting, and then there has to be at least some start to them being on the opposite side. You can't make it so easy that he's hops on Crow's side right away. And then like maybe Clover has a change of heart at the end, and then he's like stabbed by Tyrion or something, and then we get our you get the. I thought you were good luck or something, something like you get
and to be so good.
So I'm actually looking forward to it. So it's good. So I think that's all still on track. But Clover, there's no way that the next episode starts and Clover's like, "I'm with you, Crow," or if he is, he's going to betray him or something behind his back. Like, there has to be some drama here, I guess you would think. But I think it's an interesting setup. Like, pull at the tensions that we've been building with them the entire time, and then we'll see what happens. We can get back to that fight, the Ironwood versus Watts. Yeah, there's a song we haven't talked about, a lyric song in this one.
And do you get the symbolism? He's sacrificing things, and the song's about sacrifice.
I mean, I didn't really hear the lyrics, but
it was just cool.
Apparently, this is sung by Caleb Hiles, who's a YouTuber. I don't know.
Oh.
And
cool.
I think all
like good. No, sorry.
Is that cool or not cool?
Like that's
I
actually cool. Like, good job, man.
Okay, there you go. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't. But I think it's cool. You did a good job.
He's part one of the voices on it. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say anything mean about people who did like artistic work here.
The show is artistic work as much as we might disparage it.
Yeah,
the show. What are you talking about? This whole show is artistic work. Okay, that song's the song's good. I think the concept of a gunfight. This is on RWBY, right? Like this is good.
This is Gung Fu. Can I talk about this, Dylan? Because like I don't have a hot take here. I just like this fight a lot.
Okay.
Like Gung Fu has like a lot of history in anime. There's a lot of fights in anime about like people like the part where Watts puts the gun in Ironwood's face and like Ironwood blocks it and pushes it up. Like that's like a really classic anime thing to do. But
you're saying gun fu. I thought you were saying gung fu, and I was like,
no, gung fu. I'm sorry. It's where you do like gunfights in like really close range, and it's
really cool stuff. Yes,
it is, and I think they did it really well. And they had this really cool environment that literally they only made the satellite to have this fight, and that's really cool. That's really cool.
Dishonor to the satellite.
Oh, Hayley's not pleased if this is the last.
Yeah, like I think they did a lot of really cool stuff with camera angles here. Like I really loved when James tackles Watts off the thing and like the camera does a spin because it's like kind of trying to keep track of everything. And I think that's really cool. And the choreography is awesome with this fight. I actually just like really like this fight a lot, and the characters are amazing, which makes it even better.
Yeah. Okay. You pivoted there, but the problem is it's not with Team RWBY or anyone we care about. But I mean, Ironwood is one of the more interesting tertiary characters on the show, but Watts is not. And, we spend a lot of time here, and the counting thing I think is very annoying. But other than that,
but it shows how smart he is.
Yeah, I think at this point it's clear the show was trying to pull the rug out of Watts and show that he's like arrogant and stupid actually, and not as smart as he thinks. And we end with Ironwood holding him over lava. Presumably Watts is dead, but has there ever been one person on the show that has actually been dead who we've not seen
especially falling off
blow?
Of a cliff face?
That's a classic staying alive in the show, yeah.
Yep.
I really can't wait for Adam to come back next season to fight Sun.
Yeah, well, the difference is Adam got stabbed and then hit a rock hard while falling off a cliff. We don't see any of that from Watts.
He's going to come back as a cyborg, like, definitely.
What do you think of, what do you think of, like, Bumblebee, Sarah?
Bumblebee's okay. Like, it's, I really like Black Sun is the best ship ever, and we need to have.
What do you think of Black Sun? Why do you like Black Sun?
Because Sun is like the best good boy, and he deserves to have Blake as a girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, okay. You're just bouncing around here. It's hard to keep up with what's going on. But
the thing was, you were like, no,
right? Okay.
Like every third sentence.
Yeah, I don't really understand, honestly. But yeah, so Watts, I get the thing is we don't care if Watts is alive or dead. We just we do care because we don't want him on the show again. So he's
also, it was super duper like mega messed up that he got James stuck like that, and then James like yanked his arm.
Yeah.
Like,
I love gore like that. I love gore like that. It's the best.
Yeah, he puts him in a shield thing, and then he has to burn his arm to get it.
Messed up.
Yeah, but this show is still just a kid's show. We can't do anything bad in this show.
Like they said, it's not a kid's show. But yeah, it's that was a notable part too.
Murdered Kira, I thought we were past that point.
Yeah, then they put up a post being like, "Hey kids, maybe."
Yeah, if Ironwood died, then
like she's dead.
The other thing was Tyrion versus Crow, Clover, Rob, and that ends pretty quick. Tyrion's bested and taken prisoner. Yeah. Penny is called somewhere and we see her flying off.
I will say I did enjoy. It was annoying that Tyrion kept catching the arrows, but then he did catch one and it blew up. That was good.
That was really good. They used Tyrion's like kind of arrogant nature against him, and I think that was really smart of Robin, even though Tyrion's like really great.
I low-key wanted Robin to just straight up shoot him in the face though. Like I just wanted him to be like, ow.
I just
like it would be like what's her name from Legend of Korra? His head just blowed up.
Yes, exactly, blowed up.
That is what happened. Hayley, I heard you have a theory, and
I have a theory. I just had a thought.
Yes,
a terrifying thought.
Oh god.
Okay.
So we're thinking maybe Neo got Oscar, but what if she is actually Ironwood?
And she can talk this whole time, like she's been hiding it for like 7 seasons.
Because
so is Neo in the fight instead of
Haley, what?
I was confused right now. Because let me explain. So when we are with Winter, and she's like on her comm, and he's like, "Oh, did you lose something important?" She's like, "Oh, what?" And he never told her to go to the Winter Maiden. She just did that. And then when we see him later, he's like, "Oh, I told her to go like kill her," but we didn't see that.
Yeah,
so that's weird.
I think it's being safe on like comms because like
I guess
they've been hacked. I guess, but
I'm wondering because he just blew up so fast, and
if Neo can suddenly talk, I'm going to be out. Just so you know.
I mean, that's relevant no matter who Neo might be. Like, if I mean, I still think Neo's probably not anyone, but if she's just disguising
but she could be.
She could be.
True.
Look, we're on Neo watch still. Yes. We don't know that Ironwood this whole episode was not Neo. I'll say that. We don't know that.
That could have played into them if they want to be like he actually did redeem himself. He is like not evil, you know?
Yeah. That would be really bad if that was the case because we spent the whole episode. But it's look, Neo's got to show up as someone. I'm telling you, it's happening. So
she probably did just get Oscar, and my theory is nothing. But you know,
we'll see. Okay, we'll see if that pays off. We've speculated on a lot of stuff already, but Cinder's going after the maiden. That's too. She's like, lead me to her. Yep. So
I'm excited about that plot line.
What fights are we seeing?
Do not kill Winter. I swear to God, do not.
If she becomes the maiden,
Winter.
she's dead.
No.
It'll be really heartbreaking and really good character growth for Weiss.
Also, we're going to see Winter like murder an old lady, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes,
also
I'm really excited for that. It's going to be Captain Marvel.
No, it's definitely happening off screen. It already
It's
happened.
Captain Marvel, Dylan. It's going to be good.
It's happened off screen. Also, I thought you were going to say murdering Winter was good character development for Winter. That's what I thought.
Also that.
I mean, it is. Winter's so one note, and if she's dead, like she'll be zero note, which is a change, and it's good.
It's a change, yeah. So what fights are we getting? So we got probably Team RWBY versus the Aesops minus Clover.
A Cinder Winter Neo fight with Oscar, maybe. Who knows?
Cinder, Winter, Neo, Oscar,
I
Penny.
think Oscar and Ironwood are going to fight.
Oscar,
did we already say Tyrion? Because he definitely has to get down the fun.
Tyrion, Crow, again, the second part of
Which
that.
I don't want this to happen, but I think Crow and Clover might fight.
Yes, definitely.
Oh man, fishing hook first sight. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, I saw him using a stupid fishing hook during that fight.
I forget every time that it's a fishing hook, but I'm like, why is this happening right now?
You're not really helping, right? Clover, like, you're just...
But he wrapped him up.
Clover mains Isabel, right? Like, that's clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, so I think it's not 100% clear. Are we even getting a traditional, like, finale with, like, fights like this? Or does subverting it mean we don't get that and we get, like, Salem coming and more...
And going into space.
Like a big grand scale fight or maybe more talky finale? I don't know. I think it's not a given that we're getting, like, 3 separate fights or something. Then that's the next 2 episodes. So yeah, the big thing is Salem's coming. We'll see if that happens, these 2 episodes. You would assume yes, but also a lot could carry over to next season, as we always have to factor in. And will Bumblebee happen? So there you go.
Lot to come.
Yeah, we kind of glanced over one part of the Tyrion fight that I'm really upset we glanced over, Dylan.
Okay, what was that?
Like Crow is actually like really competent and like it was really good watching him actually fight and not have bad luck because Clover's there, Dylan. Get it?
Yeah, they balanced the luck out. Yeah.
I actually wanted more of the Crow. Like I really was like it kind of felt very limited. Like I actually would have liked to see. I like watching Crow fight.
He fights like he clearly fights like with his like taking into account that he's gonna have bad luck at some point, but seeing him not get like have bad luck happen means he's just really good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
You're just speechless at Crow's ability, Dylan. I get it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with those 2. I just I'm not going to relish in it, but I know there's tragedy coming, so I won't have to talk about this for much.
Bridging your gaze is always good, Dylan.
As the RWBY will soon find, the RWBY will both not culminate Bumblebee and Fridge Clover in the same season. That'll be fun. That's probably those are the 2 most likely outcomes individually. So together, that would be wow. What a masterpiece this season would be. Okay, Lenny, I think we've covered things. Include any last theories or anything else from the episode in your final thoughts. Hayley, what are you thinking?
I just want a Cinder Winter fight. That'll make me happy. And if we end up in space, so There you go.
What if we're
want.
just really, really high in the air, but not in space?
You know,
No,
if
it
we
has to
can
be
see the
space.
stars up close, if we look out and see just black sky above us, that'd
Okay.
be fun.
Okay, I don't know. I'm
And
not
then they
an
crash to Earth really dramatically.
Yeah, well, yeah. Also,
that's
Atlas
definitely
comes crashing
happening.
to Earth is also another thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not an atmosphere expert, so I don't know at what point you can.
I mean,
see black above.
I learned it. Space is it's not really specific. You're going to be very disappointed by knowing that we don't have like a very strict line for when space.
What layer of the atmosphere do they have to be to see the black of space?
Oh, you don't have to be that high. Like, I mean, it starts getting really dark when you're in like an airplane. Like, they don't have to get that far at all. You maybe like, I don't know the exact one.
I need the exact layer.
Can I give it to you in a second? Like,
Okay, look it up. We'll get back to you. That's good. Delaney,
We gotta
final
make sure
thoughts.
they say that. Like they're shooting up into the sky.
We're in the
And Iron Man's like,
stratosphere.
Yeah.
We've
I
reached
hope-
this sphere. We've reached this level.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, so troposphere is where you like fly your planes and stuff. Like, that's where you don't
Okay.
go above. But if they get to like the stratosphere, like that's where weather balloons are. It might get black, but like we have to get like to the mesosphere to really start getting
Okay,
stuff
so-
happening, which is
Okay.
like over 50 kilometers in the air, which
I think
I
we
am
can do it.
very excited for.
Yeah. Okay, that's happening. We're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
going
good.
over. We're going
We're
over
gonna be
50.
in space.
Like,
Good.
so to be clear, like
Achievable.
just so you understand, Dylan, how like stupid the atmosphere is, the exosphere, like quote unquote, the atmosphere extends to 10,000 kilometers technically. So there's no like real hard line for where the space starts.
Okay. Well, wherever that means we have to be in that. If it's ambiguous, that means it's perfect for RWBY. So we have to be at that point. We have to be like.
I mean, true.
and
The
then
mesosphere.
But
Sphere.
Sarah, what you're not factoring in is that this is not Earth. So
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I can't believe
they can make up
it's
whatever
so
crap
immersive.
they
This
want.
world is so immersive. I always forget this is like a totally different place.
Like the moon was punched by a god.
Yeah, like the moon. Like I
That
feel
could impact things.
It hurts because I love our moon and they destroyed it.
Yeah.
You love our moon?
Yeah, the real moon, which this one reminds
The
me of.
real
It's a
moon.
moon.
It's not our. Yeah, it's a different moon. That's true. Delaney, final thoughts.
I guess I'm a little bit higher on this episode now that we've talked about it more. I still like there are good things that happen this episode, but overall it's like I think the season is just weighing heavily upon us as we reach the finale. I am excited though for these fights, and I'm just hoping we get some sort of resolution before we go into the next season.
Yeah, I agree with that overall point. Like this considering they just flipped stuff, this season is prime for a carry over most things to next season type of RWBY ending. So
Yeah.
that would be bad. Yeah, or I mean, there's probably a good way to do it, but we'd probably not like it.
It's beyond them.
Or beyond us to appreciate.
I want to
it,
apologize
depending
before
on their
anyone gets mad at me, Dylan. I actually fact checked myself. There's actually quote unquote a line where space starts. You are correct.
Okay, so I want to be right
to the
on that
space
line.
line.
I want to be right on that line. But again, we're not in Earth, so it doesn't work that way.
It's 100 kilometers into space, and it's called
Okay.
the Karman line.
Okay,
So
I want
what
them
we
to say
need,
the Karman line in that.
what we
episode.
need though is like a little number that shows them what level in the atmosphere,
Oh,
like
yes,
kilometer
So
wise.
on
Yeah.
a big screen in Ironwood's office.
So we gotta watch for that.
That would be fun, actually. That's how high up we are. Yeah, we just gotta go super high up and then crash all the way down. Yeah, how is everyone not dying? We'll see.
Well, this
Rip-
this is the
Number
thing. that
one,
plays-
Rip Atlas.
Right,
Yeah,
but this
rip
plays
Alice.
into my thoughts of last week about how the cast has grown too large, so they need a just to kill
Just
everybody
them
off.
all. It's gonna be good.
So what this is doing though is they're basically going to have Team RWBY.
Oh my god,
They've
we
turned
can
against them, right? They're going to leave. They're going to go to Mantle. They're going to hang out with the Ranger, and they're going to be there, and then everyone else is going to die because they went up into the sky.
It's gonna be good,
Oh yes, speaking
including
of,
Penny.
I was remembered Ren. There's a big outstanding plot line with
Right.
with Ren being pissed, like pro Ironwood, and Nora
For
being
some
anti Ironwood. And now, given this flip, we can get back into that.
They're
so
all
I do
dead.
I do expect Ren's discontent, or Ren and Nora not being on the same page, to come into play in the last two episodes.
That'd be exciting if
Yeah,
Ren
Ren
died.
Nora fight.
What is exciting if Ren died? Wow,
It would be dramatic.
so bloodthirsty. We're so
If
bloodthirsty.
I won't lie. If Team Junior died, it'd probably be the best thing that's happened to the show.
No, I like Jim.
I thought Jim was good now. That's what Hayley
No.
said.
Jim's
yeah.
good now, and
I
Nora's
don't
always
think
good. Ren's gonna go up into space and die.
Nora can survive. Everyone else can go.
Sure. Okay, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Oh, and they'll get another kiss, I'm sure, to like mark
and
their
then they
like.
die, and then,
yeah.
and then Ren dies. Ren's not gonna. God. Yeah, I do think Ren is on the death list, the death Deadpool, but
The dead list.
The dead list. I don't.
Death
think
Watch.
Death Watch 2K20.
2020.
2K20. There you go. Sarah, final thoughts, and if you also want to give any last thoughts on anything else, your opinion of any other character episode of RWBY or anything.
Any other character or episode of this show?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much to talk about, Dylan. I really,
we'll just sit here.
What was that?
We'll just stay here. We'll listen.
Oh, okay. Good, because I have a lot to say, Dylan.
Okay.
I really love. I'm glad I have this chance because I really want to talk about Tai Yang again, Dylan. I think he's the best dad. He's the best dad.
That's where you go?
He tells Yang to ignore her trauma and just move on. Like, I don't think there's a better thing you could say. I think it's really good. What else? Tai Yang's good. Raven is a really good mom too, but like she's like cool and edgy and like doesn't like magic, and I can totally get that. This is hard. You put me on the spot here. There's so much great stuff in RWBY, Dylan. Like, I'm really happy that the team's about to get split up again. Like, I think I mentioned that before, but I want to reiterate that, like, Team RWBY splitting up is going to be so cool, because I think the best part of RWBY is when they're fighting alone and they don't have, like, any interactions to distract them. Like, that's the best part of RWBY.
Yeah. What would you say is the best episode of RWBY?
Oh, that's really hard, because I don't know all the names. But
Are they all tied for number one?
No, some are better than the others, Dylan. I think one of my favorite has to be, like, the second episode, the third episode of like season 4, when it's like almost entirely focused on Ranger just like walking through the woods and they're like talking about a map or something. Like, I think that's really interesting. Seeing John get rid of his like a hoodie finally, like that was like really good character growth, and like that whole season was very good.
Okay, I don't remember. I'll take your word for that.
All these things happen, Dylan. You have to take my word.
I'll take your word that they all happen. I know you're the expert.
I am the expert because I love this show.
Yeah. When's the last time you rewatched RWBY? Last week?
No, well, just so you know, I watched this week's episode. Like, I'm glad you gave us a lot of time. I rewatched it like 5 times. I needed all the time we had.
Yeah, that's definitely not true. There's no way. More than once, I'm skeptical. Okay. Anything else, Sarah?
No, and I hope I get to come back again, Dylan.
Who is me? Who's you? I don't understand.
Anyone. Any version of Sarah.
Okay. I mean, in general, yes, but we'll see on this.
You don't
know
if you can handle my unending optimism.
We'll see if there is what the fan reception is to today.
Oh, they're definitely going to love me, Dylan.
I think so. I think
they're going to love me. There's nothing to say bad about me.
There's nothing to say bad. Yeah. So do tell us what you thought of any of our discussions on today's podcast, our thoughts on the episode. I thought it was fun. Overlyanimated.com, youtube.com/overlyanimated. Come to our Discord at overlyanimated.com/Discord. Support us via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, especially our patron podcast, Ryan, aka Brian, and thanks as always to our patron executive producers, Ryan, Steve, Alex, Beatrice, Hugh, Michael, and Needle. We'll be back for next week's episode of RWBY. Check out, we just had a bunch of podcasts going up around now. Check out Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast podcast. I think RWBY fans might actually like Kipo, and it's just like a much better show, but don't ignore that.
Wow, how dare!
And
Rude.
The Owl House is airing now. We had you know what RWBY fans will actually love is the movie Weathering with You, which we largely panned on that podcast, but RWBY fans will love it.
RWBY fans probably would like Big Mouth, Dylan.
Okay, we're not covering that, but that's fine. Well, you're the biggest RWBY fan, so do you love Big Mouth?
Oh, yeah, Big Mouth is the best.
What other shows do you love?
Big Mouth is great. Disenchantment is great on Netflix, too.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know why I plugged Netflix. I don't care about Netflix. What other shows are really great? I mean, Family Guy and American Dad, I watch every week.
Classics, yeah.
Yeah, The Simpsons got better after, like, season 8. Like, it's really good now.
I don't think anyone has that opinion, but okay.
I don't think you need to listen to me to make more takes right now.
Okay, that's the last take. The hottest take of them all to end there. So, check all that out at overlyanimated.com. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.